our apologies for running a little long. If we can stand this time, Joe's going to lead our invocation.
Bow our head. Heavenly Father, as we bow before Thee, O God, we come to honor You, give You glory. We pray, God, that Your hands be upon us. Thank You for leading us and directing us tonight. We ask You, Lord, to stay with us tonight and help us through this meeting. We ask Your blessing on each and every one and their families here tonight. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen. All right, and Mckinley Thomas is going to lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'd like to thank our greeters at tonight's meeting, Miranda Combs, principal from Jasper Middle School, and Stephen Hunter, principal at Harmony Elementary School. Thank you. The next item is approval of the agenda. Dr. Thomas, do you have any amendments to the agenda?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor? 5-0. All right. The agenda is approved. All right. Next, we have some recognitions, and I take it since Mr. Parker is at the podium that he's going to lead us.
Well, I'm going to introduce some things in our program, Mr. Parker.
Right.
So if you remember last January, we started our Dragon Awards, and this is where we honor teachers, students, support staff members, anyone really in our school district who's making a difference. And as a reminder, there are 2 Dragon Award winners each month, and you earn this distinction by being nominated. Anyone can nominate, and these nominations are reviewed by our HR department and our communications team, who then selects the recipients. This month, our Dragon Awards will go to a high school student and then one of our kindergarten through 4th grade teachers. So this time, Mr. Parker will let us know who our Dragon Award recipients are at this time.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Thomas, board. Yeah, great opportunity to do this every September to April. We recognize a couple people each month, and something exciting we started last year. Look forward to continuing. So we'll go students first. So since she did such a great job with the pledge, we're going to first bring up Mckinley Thomas. So come on up, Mckinley. I'm going to read a little bit about you. Let's give Mckinley a round of applause. McKinley's a leader of the Pickens Dragons. She serves as a class officer. She's an outstanding leader. She's a member of several of our cheerleading teams and other school organizations. She consistently promotes school spirit. She's a model for others in the classroom. She has kind and positive attitude at all times. That's what Assistant Principal Wendy Arnold sent us in on McKinley's. One of our other teachers said she's an unsung hero. She's involved in several organizations, and she's great in the classroom. She flourishes in her role. She's always willing to step up and help others. I would highly recommend McKinley for this award. So that's what people told us about you, McKinley. So congratulations.
I'll hold this one.
Good thing she doesn't mind me in her space.
McKinley, you missed the suit. Check her.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, McKinley. Now remember our staff member, Dr. Thomas said K4, but he really meant pre-K4 teachers because we got a pre-K teacher today. Ms. Brooklyn Hamilton, come on up. Yes. Brooklyn works at Hill City. This is what people told us about her. She consistently goes above and beyond as a leader, confidant, friend, example for her team and others. She works tirelessly and selflessly to ensure success, not only her classroom, but the whole pre-K team. She offers support, guidance, resources, as well as hours of her own time. She exemplifies what it is to be a leader and a teammate and what is truly to be a dragon. That's one of her teachers said about her. The administration told us that Brooklyn is truly the glue that holds the pre-K team together. She's knowledgeable about all things pre-K. She uses that knowledge to not only keep us in compliance, but also help pre-K students in Hill City grow and thrive. Her team looks to her for guidance, and she delivers each and every time. She accepts challenges in stride and makes the best of all situations. She's a valuable asset to our team. So thank you, Brooklyn, for all you do. Congratulations. Thank you, Brooklyn.
And next is our superintendent reports. So Dr. Thomas, I'll turn that over to you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This time we'll turn it over to Dr. Abby May, our Executive Director of Teaching and Learning. She's going to give us a student achievement update.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. Good evening. I wanted to follow up on our adoption of the new ELA resources. We talked a little bit about this last time in the trainings that the teachers attended during our pre-planning. Just a reminder, this is really a focus in our strategic plan in terms of student achievement and success. We really want to increase the use of good curriculum and good instructional practices, as well as meaningful professional development. So in addressing our demonstration of good strategies with quality instruction, I visited all 3 of our elementary schools, I think it was 2 Wednesdays ago, and really checked in on our teachers who were implementing the first unit of that Benchmark Advanced series. And the first 20 days of the school year, the kids are just learning routines, processes, protocols to get them ready. And then they kind of jump into Unit 1. It is a nonfiction based content, so we saw a lot of things like life cycles of frogs, habitats. 5th grade is doing a whole lot of corn, I hear, which we're working through that unit. But what you can see here is students are actively reading and they're writing. The idea behind the new science of reading is that we want our students to read like writers and write like readers. So in these little consumables that they take home, they're able to write, they get some feedback on it directly from the teachers, and then you can see there are parts integrated that do some of the multimodal texts and different things that we need for literacy. So this is a live phonics instruction in one of our kindergarten classes. The students were completely engaged. What we heard from teachers is that it's a lot different than what they've been doing in terms of the expectation for writing alongside the reading, but it definitely matches what we know of as best practice. So our parents will be able to see these lovely consumables come home with the work that students are doing, feedback from their teachers. There's even parts where they can share with each other. And so that's great. And what we loved most about it, and I expressed to the principals, is this is an example of one of our teachers who's holding the teacher manual. And so it's a little bit kind of like a script. It allows them kind of this, these words and a script, I guess, to go through what the process of the learning should be. And so we're really diving deep into the new strategies. And the other really great part about this adoption is that we included professional learning, which was on-site coaching for our teachers in the program. So I was able to visit Harmony that day where they were receiving coaching. And what this looks like is that's the trainer at the board, and that is a 2nd grade team who is first meeting with her, kind of going through what that instruction would look like, giving her feedback, taking her feedback, etc. And then the trainer leads the actual classroom while the other teachers watch. So it's a really good model to kind of learn from each other and learn new things. So she had her work cut out for her that day. They were very excited to have all of the guests and the adults in the room, but they really enjoyed it. Ms. Godfrey, our trainer, said that the feedback she received from the teachers was incredibly positive. Some of the work is a little challenging for our kids, but that's what we want, to increase that rigor and get them really reading and writing. And all the teachers remained positive with great questions and just a lot of grit in keeping it going. So we're very excited to see that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you, Dr. May. At this time, we'll call up our Chief Financial Officer, Amy Smith, who will give us a finance update.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. As Ms. May stated, as part of our strategic plan, I cover a different section. I'm under operational and organizational effectiveness. A lot of this has to do with communicating with the board and the public. So these reports we bring you each month, they are a required part of what we are supposed to do. but it does help us be transparent with the board, our employees, and the public in general. So we'd like to go through this every month. Our general fund, we are early in our revenue collection. Through the end of August, we have collected 1.81% of our budgeted revenue. We are in a tentatively approved budget state at this time. Remember that most of the revenue that we get in the months of July and August actually has to cover expenses that are backed into the prior year. So that covers salaries for all our employees except 12 months. So that's why you're seeing very small amounts when it comes to the revenue side. Our expenditures are quite small now too. We're only at a 7.71% of our tentatively approved expenditures at this time. If you'll scroll on down, Martha, to consolidation of funds. Now this is a fund that has general fund monies and those federal funds combined together. Well, at this point, we don't have many of our federal grants. We don't even have the actual final budget yet, or we are in the process of creating that budget with the Department of Education's approval. So we are working on those, so we are expending money as we're allowed to do. So what you see here is what we have spent so far, but we are not allowed to do those transfers until those federal budgets are approved, so it's probably going to be another month or two before you start seeing transfers. It is totally allowable, we are within our guidelines. But I do want to explain why there's zero revenue in that category right now. I was happy to report we have no debt. Under our capital outlay, our SPLOST revenue for August is $798,733.48. We earned interest of $790.86. Expenditures totals $2,657,297.05, and that brings our SPLOST balance to $8,853,173.32. As y'all know, we have quite a few projects running right now, so we do have some large checks going through right now. Special revenue funds are those federal grants, school food, and a few other little programs. We've collected 0.88% of our tentatively approved budget and expended 11.22% of our budgeted expenditures. Do y'all have any questions?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. At this time, we'll call up our Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Chris Parker. Mr. Parker's going to give us an update just on school safety this time.
Yeah, for our goal area and organizational operational effectiveness, typically at this time we talk to you about operations or construction or something in that. And today felt like it was appropriate to talk about school safety and give the public and board update on what we've been doing, what we have done. Obviously a really tough week. A week ago yesterday, we had a tragedy in Georgia, close here, and it's affected a lot of people. And it's okay if people are worried or scared, and we are too. But we're going to assure you that we have a plan and we're ready to go. So what have we done and what we always done here is now at people, I get asked that a lot more now this week. What are we doing or what have we done? We've always had an SRO in every school and 2 in the high school now. Most districts don't have that, but they may not have a 1-to-1 ratio of resource officers, an SRO means school resource officer, a campus law enforcement. We have at every school. We have 2 at the high school. This week we've had 14, but we usually have 7. And then that's a good number. It's something you guys have committed to and the sheriff's office has to make sure we have somebody at all schools all the time. Every school has a safety vestibule where you walk in and you can't go any further than the front entrance, same as here. And that's a great feature for school safety that we've always had. And we have something called Centegics. We have a plan that each staff member has a badge where they can set the school into lockdown mode. They can initiate it, and there's lights in every room that turn red. And they actually had that at Appalachia High School, and it was able to at least help, right, with that project. So we have that too, and we've had it since 2019. We're actually one of the first districts in Georgia to have that, and our teachers understand that and know how to use it. Our principals are diligent on this. They've worked hard all week to make the buildings as safe as they can be, make sure staff members know what to do. And we've been doing that. That wasn't for this week. We've been doing that, okay? So what's different this week, or what's different moving forward? First off, we get a lot more, for whatever reason, people make threats. They make non-credible threats. They make jokes. That happened a lot over the weekend or, starting last Friday or so. Anything we get, we pass on to the sheriff's office, we pass on to GBI and Homeland Security. Doesn't matter how insignificant it might sound or how significant, we're sending everything out. So sometimes people are joking, doesn't matter. We're prosecuting all threats. We're doing, the sheriff's office has assured us, the district attorney, that they're taking everything serious. So we'd ask people first to not joke about anything violence, don't joke about threatening. We're not playing with that. And we never have, but we're really not now. There's extra security at the schools, and there will be. We just try to make a better effort of educating parents, staff members, students on what to look for. Because what makes school safety a thing, and people ask this a lot, well, what about what we do for the weather? Or what about what we do for Jeep Fest? Or what about what we do for, well, here's the thing. Those things go away in a day or two. In a day or two, it's not the Jeep Fest anymore. But school safety is a thing every day of school, 180 days. And it will be next year and the next and the next. So we got to be there for the students first off, but then educate as many people as we can, staff, students, parents, on what they can talk to their kids about, or what they can talk to each other about, or what see something and say something, the main thing. And we've had a great response from our parents and our students of sending us the things that they've seen. Now, thankfully, they've all not been credible, right? But that's okay. Keep sending them. That's okay. We want to know everything. If you see something, you say it. You don't have to post it for everybody else to see, but you can send it to us. And we've given that avenue. There's posters everywhere. They can call 911 if they really don't know who to call and they see something, call 911. Now we have to do a little bit of training. We had an assembly yesterday at the junior high where the district attorney, Frank Wood, was present and talked to the students, about the dangers of really making threats. Is where we were having an issue there, is just joking around, telling their buddies something. Can't joke about these things. So district attorney established what the precedent was for that, did a good job. Really appreciate him doing that. The sheriff's office has been, I've seen these guys, seen Officer Hulsey more than I've seen my wife this week. Absolutely, not even close, by the way. I actually told him yesterday, I hoped I didn't see him for a few days, and here I'm seeing him again today. But those guys have been great to work with, Sheriff Craig and the whole team, Jeff Hall, been really good to work with. And anything we need, they've jumped on. And of course, we try to reciprocate, get them anything they needed in these processes. So we'll have some trainings for the staff at the school. We do this every year anyway, but it'll probably be a little more ramped up this year. But there'll be probably in October. Usually when we do it, October and March, typically there is a like planning period meetings with teachers where we talk about what they would do in their classroom. And then we'll have drills like we always do. Last year, the state changed the rules where you have to have a drill before October 1st. We've always done that, or we have for the last 6 or 7 years, but last year was the first year that everybody in the state had to. So we actually had some scheduled for this week. We actually postponed them for the week after fall break, thinking it might be a little sensitive right now for people thinking it's not a drill or something. But we come back from fall break, we're gonna have a drill at each school. We'll let parents know ahead of time. We'll send them out. Everybody knows it's a drill. So I don't have to panic first, but we want them to know where to go if something happens. And then, we'll have more of those in the spring semester. So, we got trainings come up, we got drills coming up, and unfortunately, it's not something anybody wants to be talking about. I'd much rather be telling you guys about something we're building or, maintenance or transportation or something like that. But this is the reality. And so I can't guarantee anybody that nothing can happen. Actually, that's something I cannot guarantee. But I can guarantee you that we are doing the best we can. That the sheriff's office, the principals, the teachers, the staff, Dr. Thomas, these people are doing the best they can do. And I've seen it this week. And they're going to keep, and they have before. I don't think we started doing this week. It just wasn't at the top of the conversation for some people. And now it is. But I can guarantee you the people in this district are doing the best they can for school safety. I put us up against anybody. And that doesn't mean we can stop everything, but we're doing our best. And I want people to know that. So do you guys have any questions for me that I can answer today about school safety? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Parker.
Thank you.
And then, Mr. Chairman, just a couple of other announcements real quick, some superintendent comments. It is some good information that we did recently receive notification that we received the Platinum Award from the Georgia Association of School Personnel Administrators. The acronym is GASPA, in regards to our efforts over the past school year with retaining our people. Platinum is the highest recognition a school system can obtain, and we were one of 2 systems statewide to earn this honor. Our district saw a tremendous decrease in the amount of staff turnover for this current school year compared to the prior school year due to our intentional efforts. So we're very grateful that the State Association in charge of Human Resources recognized this and what we worked to do, and they rewarded our success. So that's good news there. And then also I want to talk about our Superintendent Student Advisory Council. That's coming soon. We're starting something new this school year. 2 students from each grade level, from 7th grade to seniors in high school, will be chosen to serve on the Superintendent's Student Advisory Council. This council will meet 3 times during the school year with me to discuss what's going well in our schools, what areas we can improve upon, and other current issues. And I'm excited about starting this for our district. It's a really good effort, really intentional effort to get input from kids and students about how we can make our schools better despite engaging them in conversation. We've had our kids fill out an application if they're interested. We had 73 kids apply for only 12 slots. And so our teaching and learning department looked through each of these applications anonymously this week, where student names were removed from the application, and the department then narrowed down the number for me to make the final decision. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm not looking forward to making that tough decision. Who's hard from each grade level. But our council will be finalized after fall break, and the first meeting will be in October. And then just some upcoming dates. A reminder, we do have fall break next week. We have our board retreat October the 4th. We have our regular scheduled board meeting October the 10th. And we have something new this year in our calendar, student conferences on Friday, October the 11th. So we're anxious to see how that will look and the input that we'll get back from our teachers and parents about those conferences. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. All right, next on our agenda is our action items. So under A, we have the approval of personnel. Do I have a motion to approve the personnel action report as presented?
So moved.
Terrell. Do I hear a second? Sue Finley. Is there any further discussion? All in favor? 5-0. Do I have next is approval of our FY25 initial budget. Do I have a motion to approve the FY25 initial budget as presented?
So moved.
Gibson, Joe Wigington seconds. Is there any further discussion? All in favor? 5-0. Okay. And we have an approval to purchase a school bus. Do I have a motion to approve the purchase of one Type C school bus with a lift for a total cost of the school system of $73,618 to be paid with SPLOST funds?
So moved.
Tony Gartrell, second by Joe Wigington. Is there any further discussion? All in favor? 5-0. All right. Next up is our consent agenda. I'm just going to read off some of the things that we're consenting to. Our financial reports, approval of local board training plan, approval of CTAE local plan, an MOU with Good Samaritan Health and Wellness Clinic, MOU with Dalton State College. That's a memo of understanding. Approval of MOU with Abraham Baldwin College, approval of MOUs with the University of North Georgia, several approval out-of-state overnight field trips, PHS Travel Club, PHS Poultry Judging, PHS Poultry Evaluation, Swim Team, and FFA. All our minutes from the last few meetings in August, our August meetings and our September 6th meeting, and then we have surplus from the following departments: printers, monitors, some used books. So that's what's on the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Gibson. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay. Sue Finley. And is there any further discussion? All in favor? 5-0. Okay. Public participation. Dr. Thomas, have we received any requests for public participation at this board meeting?
Yes, sir, we have, Mr. Chairman. We have one person who has followed our board policy and notified us that he would like to speak. With us tonight is Mr. Joseph Drummond. Mr. Drummond has requested to speak with us about the length of time for some of our afternoon bus routes.
Yeah, right.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Drummond, just as you come, just to remind you, so our policy, you've got 3 minutes, and we won't make any comments afterwards, we're just gonna listen. And I'll put you on a timer, if you go beyond the 3 minutes, I'll just remind you, sir.
Surely. My grandson is a 6-year-old first grader attending Harmony Elementary. He rides bus 81 to the Henderson Mountain Road area. He gets on the bus at 7 a.m. every morning and returns at 4:15. That's about 9 hours a day, all day, every day, 5 days a week. This long day is demanding on young children, leaving little time for play, sports, dance, music, church, family, and fun. There are many academic and safety standards that I'm sure you and the team and the superintendent's office are working with every day. All those involved in educating and caring for each student. But it seems there is a need for an additional requirement, daily travel time. An hour and a half in the afternoon to get home from school is just too long. I'm asking the board to set a travel standard no more than 1 hour each way for bus travel time. The superintendent and his staff, I'm sure, can develop a plan that could do that, but they require your approval and some money, I suspect. And if you would consider that, it would be greatly appreciated by me, my student, and many other students who are likewise riding the bus either in the morning or the afternoon to get to school. My primary concern is my grandson, but I know your concern would be for every other student in the school system. So please take this seriously. It is a serious matter when a child is completely exhausted at the end of the day, unable to participate in any extra other activities. Thank you for listening, and I appreciate your consideration of this matter, and I look forward to hearing what your plan would be.
Thank you, Mr.
sir.
Jones.
Thank you.
All right, next is our board comments, and I'll kick us off. I just want to say to all our administrative staff, teachers, I know the last week and a half's not been easy, so thank you so much for your efforts and everything you're doing with our students and taking care of them and reassuring them in this time, so thank you.
I agree. Thank you very much. You've all worked so hard, done a terrific job.
Yes, please administrators convey to all your staff how truly grateful we are. I know it's been a hard week. Y'all know I'm married to a teacher and I get to see what's left when she gets home in the day, and y'all know exactly what I mean by that. Also, this award we received for turnover, I think that the administrators here should share in that, because I think a lot of the reason I think we came back were y'all.
I agree.
All right, very good. So next item is, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Joe,
Third.
Tommy, is there any further discussion? All in favor? 5-0. We are adjourned at 6:42 p.m. Thank you all for being here.